Hi, my name is Claudia Desideri. I'm originally from Rome, Italy, and I'm the owner and artistic director at Desideri Design, which is a jewelry brand that I created in 2005. My background is in art. I study art in Rome, and specifically graphic design. I also taught on photography, painting, jewelry designing, of course. And I used to be a dancer and an actress, so movies are definitely one of my big inspiration for my work. So Desideri Design was born out of my personal need for something unique and special. I always loved fashion, but I found myself wanted to add something, a personal touch to everything I was wearing. So I started to make clothing, an accessory, or I started beading. And I remember years ago, somebody gave it to me, a ring as a gift. It was a beautiful ring with the beads on top and a very interesting black band. But I thought I could make it better. So I collected some material, I started to experimenting, and the cluster rings. I created the cluster rings, which I started to sell in local artisan markets in New York, where I met buyers which purchased for their stores. I met editors which would end up to purchase the ring for themselves, and they asked me if I wanted to be on their magazines. And clients, a lot of clients that still today with us. I'm inspired by a lot of things, but I would say my design aesthetic would be clean lines. I like things that are a little bit off balance, and definitely colors, a lot of colors. I use many different techniques in my work, but most of them, they are self-taught, meaning that I like to experiment with things, and most of all, I like to find a new way to create things, so make something. For instance, the cluster rings that I was talking about, which is our signature pieces, they were completely improvised. Sustainability is definitely something important, but I also believe that we became very conscious of what luxury really is and sustainability. For instance, if you go to our website and order a ring or necklace, anything, that specific product is going to be made just for you, which to me is already a luxury itself, but also there is no waste. And I, was actually almost like thinking the old days when people would have the tailor-made suits or gown. And I've been collecting beads and stone for many, many years. So I would say there is a lot of recycle as well, beside obviously being very unique pieces. All our products, they are made locally in New York by using a material that are sourced in Europe and the United States. My inspiration comes from pretty much anything and anywhere. As mentioned before, I was an actress and a dancer, so definitely movies and cinema is a big inspiration. I also find that traveling does open yourself, it makes you see things differently, it makes you look at things differently. And so definitely is a big inspiration for me. And nature, what not to love about nature. How do I go about creating the collection? So it's definitely a very organic process. Sometimes I can have an idea and I start sketching those ideas. There is nothing fancy, there is no colors or anything, it's just like a pencil and a paper. I like to put them in a book that I have, which sometimes I like to go back, and I'm inspired by my own ideas. And for instance, recently I was in Hawaii and I found this beautiful nutshell in the ocean, so I brought them back. I had them in front of me. I look at the shapes, the weight, the feeling. And so my new collection was born, which is the Kukui collection. So it's pretty much can be anything, but most of all is putting materials together and just create something out of it. One of my favorite collection is called The Crown. The Crown was inspired by beautiful movies, couple of movies actually that I saw. Was called Elizabeth and Elizabeth the Golden Age. Beautiful film acted by Kate Blanchett. And but what I really love about the movie was the costume design and the color and the headpiece that they were wearing during the Renaissance era was very inspirational to me. And most of all was the color they would choose, the choice of coloring. There were a lot of soft rose and gold and soft oranges to dress this very powerful woman. So that was very inspirational, and the Crown collection is a balance of power and femininity. And actually I would like to say that if you are interested in to know a little bit more about our inspirations and process and everything, I created a blog which you can find on our website. You can just click there or subscribe to our mailing list, and who knows, you might be inspired. So you can find us online. We have our own website at www.desideridesign.com. As a retail, we've been doing a yearly event we've been doing for the last 8 years in New York during the holiday season. It's called Union Square Holiday Fair, where you can come to see us and see beautiful local artisans. And for us, it's a way to showcase our product, to reconnect with our client and get to know new client. And so definitely going back to wholesale. We used to have stores used to have our product in Japan, Australia, and United States. So that's something that I would like to go back into. I really started a shift towards more high-end jewelry, and by high-end I mean 14 karat and 18 karat solid gold, because I noticed that my clients started to they become more conscious of purchasing something that has definitely beautiful, definitely well made, but also something that has a value, more tangible value, something that is worth today and can even worth even more in the future. And also I noticed that during the pandemic I really missed the one-on-one with my clients. So eventually I would like to create a channel where obviously it's going to be a virtual channel, where I can talk about the product and show the product collectively or privately.